Hey, it's Mark Lynn here with your video thought for the day. All right, so recently, Becky and I were driving. It was a road trip, sort of. We were driving from Austin to Houston as just the two of us in the car. So Becky had this great idea. She said, let's send an email or a text out to our kids and have each of them send us 3 songs for a playlist so we can put the playlist together and listen to the songs that our kids would pick. Well, I thought it was a splendid idea. As a practical matter, our kids who have kids, hence our grandchildren, seem to have gotten in on the act because all of a sudden a number of the songs were from the Encanta or Encanta or Encana or some animated Disney something or another. Let's Not Talk About Bruno, I think was one of those songs. But other than that, the playlist was really fun because it kept the road trip interesting and lively. Now, I'm telling you that story because songs on a road trip are not new. In fact, if you go back to ancient Israel, some of the Psalms are precisely that. They're traveling psalms. See, in ancient Israel, everybody was to go up to Jerusalem several times. Annually, you would go up for the Passover. You would go up for a number of different events and reasons. And when they needed to go to Jerusalem, it wasn't a matter of hopping on a flight or getting on in your car or catching a bus or a train. It was basically you walked. You might have a donkey take your camping gear because you're going to be stopping and camping out on the way there. But there was a musical opportunity in those days for those trips. And so you've got these traveling psalms. And Psalm 121 is a great example. It's one of my favorite psalms. The psalmist says, I will lift up my eyes to the hills, from whence cometh my help. And the hills, of course, Jerusalem is in the hill country. And so the idea is to look up to the temple, look up to Jerusalem, look up to God's holy hill, knowing that your help comes from God's presence on earth. God is our ever-present help. This is a marvelous thing because the psalm, first of all, is amazing. Worth reading, worth memorizing. Psalm 121. Just about 8-9 verses to it. It's not a long one. But look at the psalm. It's worth looking up right now when we're done. But I want to pause. Instead of just talking about the psalm, I want to talk about the idea behind the psalm. That we really are on a journey in this life. Our journey may be a specific road trip, but it's also the overwhelming journey that our life is. It starts out when we're born and it ends when we die. But between those two dates, you've got quite the journey. And the idea of having a playlist is great, but not so much the songs of Encana or Encanta or whatever that in play is or movie is. More so the playlist like the Psalms, like Psalm 121, a traveling psalm, a playlist that says, from whence cometh my help? And it comes from God. And if we travel this journey of life, looking to God to be our help in times of difficulty, our help in times of heat, our help in times of oppression, our help in times of fear, our help in times of joy and gladness. God, as our helper, should be that song that's always on our lips while we journey through this life. So make part of your playlist of life Psalm 121 and think about that psalm and see if it doesn't make your journey through this life a little bit better. We're pulling into the weekend, but I look forward to talking to you again next Monday. This is your video thought for the day.